Do you think the physical training that you took part in when you were in the Marines has impacted your current physical regimen? By the way, everybody, Stephen is 82 years old. I see him at the gym. He's there every morning very early. What time do you get there?
I get there at 4:45.
4:45 a.m., which is why I see him from time to time, because I'm not there at
You're
4:45.
coming in, I'm going home.
Yeah, and I sometimes train there and elsewhere, but you are very consistent. You train very early. So clearly you're in great physical and mental shape. It's awesome to see. You are, with all the discussion about longevity, you are living proof. I am curious about your physical regimen and the extent to which your physical regimen impacts your ability to lean into and against resistance to do your creative work at the keyboard or with pen and paper.
That's a great question. Going to the gym early, first thing for me, is a rehearsal for when I get home and I go to sit at the keyboard and I actually have to face the resistance of working that day, right? So to me, the gym is about something that I don't want to do. I hate to get up that early in the morning and get there. It's something that is going to hurt, right? We all know about that. And it's something that I'm afraid of because, as you know, there are all kinds of ways you can hurt yourself and you embarrass yourself and so on and so forth. But having done that in the morning, so I've got I think we have a mutual friend in Randy Wallace, right? Do we have? Yeah. Randy has this thing, Randall Wallace, who wrote Braveheart, and his secretary directed that and many others. He has a thing in the morning that he calls little successes. And what he's trying to do to build momentum for when he's actually going to sit down and write is, achieve something that he can say, okay, I did something good here. And then I did, so going to the gym for me is that. It's not so much about the physical aspect of it. It's the rehearsal for kind of facing so I feel like when I finish at the gym, nothing I'm going to do for the rest of the day is going to be as hard as what I already did. So, there we go. The ways are greased and I can go forward. That's the theory anyway.
So when you wake up in the morning, you're not looking forward to working out?
Fuck no. I mean, can we say that here?
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely not. It's a drag. I hate to go,
You prefer to stay in bed?
Absolutely. I wish I could stay in bed, But on the days I do stay in bed, Sunday, I don't feel so good about myself. I wish I had gone to the gym. I mean, you must feel the same way, Andrew, about whatever you do, being an old skateboarder and, a fitness guy your whole life. How does it fit in with your regimen?
Well, the problem for me is that I love working out.
Oh, you do?
So
wow.
I do, and I always have. I have noticed in the last maybe 2-3 years that occasionally I have to push myself a little bit more, but I loathe rest days, but they are important. I do believe in taking one full day off per week, letting my body recover. But that's the problem is I really enjoy working out. And so by the time I'm done working out and then I shower up and I eat and I'm sitting down to do some work, I'm like, oh, now comes the really hard workout. But I noticed that I learn things during those workouts, provided that I don't have my phone with me. I might listen to music on my phone, sometimes a podcast or an audiobook, but I do my very best not to be on social media or text during those workouts, because during those workouts, something always comes to mind that I find useful for elsewhere in life. And it usually pops up during a rest period between sets. I think exercise takes our brain and body into these unfamiliar states.
Yeah.
And I think that our unconscious mind geysers stuff up. And I think it was the great Joe Strummer of The Clash that said, when you have a thought that feels important, write it down, because you think it will be there later, but certain thoughts and ideas are offered up and they don't last, at least not in that form. You need to catch them. And so I have a mode of catch usually in notes. Do you have a capture method for ideas, whether or not you get them during workouts or
I don't have during workouts. I don't seem to get ideas during workouts, but I completely agree with that. That those ideas that come like in the shower or when you're on the subway or when you're driving along the freeway, your mind is occupied in something else, right? your ego's involved, and somehow it opens the pipeline and things burble up, and you always think, oh, I'll remember that, but you forget it's like a dream, They just go away. So yeah, I mean, I'll just dictate it into my phone. I mean, my phone now is, full of stuff that I've got to transcribe, but I couldn't agree more with that.
Yeah, there's something about the way that our unconscious mind, I feel like it kind of tosses things up for the conscious mind to catch. And in those moments, just like in a dream, we think, oh, I'll remember this later.
Yeah.
And we don't.
It's amazing how they go away.
It's
evanescence.
Evanescence.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful word, and it captures it perfectly.
See, I'm a different believer. I don't believe it's really coming from the subconscious. I'm a believer in the goddess. I'm a believer in the muse. I think it's coming from someplace else, and that they're playing with us a little bit, Like I know Steven Spielberg says when an idea comes, he says it whispers rather than shouting, which is his way, I think, of saying, it's a very subtle thing that goes away very fast, and you got to grab it while it's there.